How's it, folks? Before we get started breaking the trailer down, I just want to mention something so you know where my bias is coming from, so you can more easily understand my viewpoint, and that is that I enjoyed the older Assassin's Creed significantly more than the RPG trilogy, where there was little or no AC influence in those games, as they were more of a demigod simulator. With that out of the way, let's get straight into the trailer. It starts off with an aerial assassination on an unsuspecting guard. But something that I immediately noticed from this first scene that carries over for the rest of the trailer is the cloth physics and how it doesn't seem like Bassam's outfit is glued to his body, so it's nice to see a bit of effort has been put into this. The next scene involves Bassam making his way through the crowd undetected and taking out what could potentially be another target. I also want to point out his bracer and half-gloved hand and the rest of his outfit. He appears to have less ornamentation compared to the reveal trailer, so either there has been a design change or this is an early iteration of Bassam's outfit, and it gets more fancy as you progress through the story. Kind of like how in the original AC, Altair had to earn his position back and his bracelet changed based on his rank. Next, we are welcomed as a hidden one as our eagle lands on Bassam's arm and we see the entire outfit from the front. And this makes me pretty happy as it looks like a proper callback to the first AC outfit, with the white robe and red sash and the AC insignia on the belt. It also looks like he is wearing armored boots, but I don't know if this is the standard outfit or if it becomes upgraded through the story. Next up, we get a bit of an eagle's view of the city of Baghdad. It looks like there are cranes to shoot you up to the main wall quickly, but what I'm more interested in is the design of the city and if it will allow for more parkour. Near the bottom you can see poles for swinging and the roofs look close enough to jump across. There also appears to be clotheslines for bridging larger gaps that they also showcase later on in the trailer, so it may be faster to move across the rooftops. However, I don't know if it is just for this trailer or the location, but the streets seem fairly empty. So in the end it may still be faster to run across the streets rather than engaging with parkour, which if it is the case makes me a little bit disappointed. Next we are told that we have died and then been reborn, which I believe we will be told after being inducted as a hidden one and join the Brotherhood. We also get what looks like the street level view of the same place shown in the previous shot, which helps with the scale and how high the walls go. Next, we are shown a bit of a parkour sequence, which is immediately obvious it isn't Unity style parkour and it is pretty clear it came from Valhalla. Bassam does seem faster and less hunched over compared to Eivor, but it is the same as the RPG trailer from what is shown here. However, the parkour may still be fun to engage with depending on the level design, as that is where an AC game can shine. For the RPG trilogy, they focused on having massive open worlds where you could climb everything, which made parkour pretty useless. Now that this game essentially is focused around one city, I'm hoping that the developers spend more time making parkour viable again, but are designing routes around and through the city that doesn't involve just running forward and holding the parkour button down like the RPG games did. The next sequence starts off what looks like a lookout guard blowing a horn and initiating a chase, with Bassam escaping by using a smoke bomb and climbing up some scaffolding, which I'm glad to see. I may be reaching here, but hopefully that means one of the effective ways of ending a chase is to break line of sight or distract the guards then head for the roofs, which if true I'm looking forward to testing out. The chase either continues or a different one starts and ends with a leap of faith while being fired at by archers. Hopefully this means that rooftop soldiers are making a proper return and you'll need to make a choice between high risk and speed on the roofs or slower but safer street level travel. Next we have what could be showcasing a black box style assassination mission that kind of reminds me of Belek speaking to Arnaud just before the Notre Dame assassination in Unity. So this man here could be one of Bassam's mentors, perhaps the one focused on assassinations if there is more than one. He also mentions bribing the guards, which backs up the theory of this being a black box mission with multiple approaches. Bassam answers by saying he will see what best suits him. Next, Bassam uses a throwing knife to instant kill a guard, so hopefully, I might be reaching here, but hopefully the health bars and leveled guards and gear are taken out of this game. The next sequence involves performing a ledge assassination, but it may have alerted this guard if you look closely here. It then cuts to Bassam crouching and sneaking through an interior, and what I think is him pickpocketing the keys off of an unsuspecting guard and using them to unlock the door. This seems to allow him access to a restricted area that he is using to pass time in until it's nighttime before assassinating someone. Although based on his outfit, he looks just like another guard, so maybe they aren't trying to spoil the assassination for this target here. Next up, we have Bassam showing off the multiple kill ability, which I'm glad to see make a return, as this gives us the powerful assassin fantasy again. It also briefly shows the silhouettes that maybe indicates what guards you can use the ability on before you instigate it. Although Bassam seems to have made a rookie mistake of leaving the guard on Overwatch alive here before heading down, so this is probably what initiates the combat in the next sequence. The combat sequence is probably what makes me feel has diverted the most from Valhalla. It starts off with what I can only call the hook blade roll that came from AC Revelations that hasn't really been seen since. The combat appears to be faster and smoother than Valhalla, but it isn't clear what it looks like as they only really showed off finishing moves, which while cool and I'm glad they look different, it doesn't really show much of the actual gameplay for combat, which is kind of an odd choice for a gameplay trailer. They do show off what appears to be a normal attack while sliding, however there aren't any guards around, so maybe this has a similar hitbox system that Valhalla has. I mean, they even throw in a Spartan kick off the roof in the sequence, but I need to see some actual gameplay of the combat rather than the curated montage of the finishes before I form an opinion on this being a better fit for future Assassin's Creed. That being said, I am cautiously optimistic. Before leaving this sequence, I do want to mention one thing that I very much like, and that is the Hidden Blade finisher for the last guard here. Hopefully this means we can use the Hidden Blade more in combat like the old games, as that was a lot of fun for my teenage self. It ends off with what could be a unique assassination by wrapping a rope around the man's head and leaping off the building. I also want to point out that we get a better view of the bracer with its metallic upgrade in the shot showing off its ornamentation. The final shot I am really happy with, as it shows Bassam at the top of a viewpoint tower, and it looks like you have to use parkour to scale it rather than holding forward and the parkour button. It looks like there is a designated route up the tower, which makes me hopeful the city will be in a similar state. And finally, it ends with the release date of October the 12th. I hope some of you enjoyed this video, and if you discovered some things I didn't point out, drop a comment to let me know. Otherwise, a like and subscribe will greatly help my small channel out. I hope you all have a fantastic day, take care, and cheers for now.